Who want one last trip to the long trail?
Mortal Kombat is a franchise that I love a lot. People know me as the guy who talks about Tekken and plays Tekken, but my experience in fighting games is really different from what YouTube portrays. I played every Street Fighter. I played every Mortal Kombat. I showed up to Tekken super late. The first Tekken that I really played was 6, then Tag 2, then 7, then 8. But Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, I was there from the start. And I love those games a lot. But for Mortal Kombat, looking at this game go up and down and just make all these weird decisions, a couple of months ago, I had to make the tough decision to not talk about the game anymore. I was like, I can't talk about this game. This game is just continuously letting me down. The game looks fantastic, but so many things about it just goes wrong. And I'm just sitting here like, no, not Mortal Kombat. I love that game, right? But here we are again with some bad news. And I said last time would be my final time talking about Mortal Kombat, but it seems like we're opening up a new chapter. If this thing goes the way that everyone thinks it's going to go, it's not looking too good. Now, the reason why I want to highlight this as well as a Tekken content creator is because Tekken is in a weird space right now too, right? A lot of people are very upset with the game and they want to see season 2 bring change. You can say that same thing was said for Mortal Kombat. Their game was in a weird spot. A lot of people wanted that game to change it around with Chaos Reigns, and then the Chaos Reigns comes out and it doesn't do so well. So Tekken 8's kind of in a similar position. If Mortal Kombat can fall, so can Tekken. So we should watch this and observe. The first tweet is this one. It says, according to Fate Unknown, says that Kombat Pack 3 is not coming. So you have this video here where it says, according to recent video, this is a good chance of being the next Kombat Pack. So you have a content creator making a what if scenario for the next pack. You have a couple of characters here, and then you have an insider who shows up and says it is not. Someone says, is it even going to be a Kombat Pack 3 then? And then the insider says no. And now all over to this tweet, you can see that there's more screenshots as to why. It says no way. To be fair, a lot of people didn't say MK Chaos Reigns was overpriced, including players and review outlets. But it's interesting to see the knockoff effect of this. When Chaos Reigns released, it was like $50, right? And a lot of people said that was too expensive, especially comparing it to Tekken 8, where Tekken 8, the story was free and the DLC was like $5. If you want Heihachi and the stage, that's like $10, right? Now, of course, the stage should have been, blah, 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 whatever. We won't get into it. But people were unwilling to pay for a $5 stage. Now, imagine paying $50 for the stage, story, and characters, right? Difference. That's what Mortal Kombat did, and it seems like it's backfired. The verified insider says Kombat Pack 3 and second story expansion were planned, all canceled recently. No more characters after Kombat Pack 2. A cameo or two might make it since there has been work done on them, but I don't know yet. So this person says, thanks for the info. Any ideas why it's canceled? Says Chaos Reigns sold poorly. This is very interesting because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Mortal Kombat 11 also only had 2 seasons, and maybe even a Mortal Kombat before that. It seems like Mortal Kombat just cannot get past the second season. Now their sales being so low to where they can't do it anymore, it's shocking because everyone said that Mortal Kombat 11 sucked, but you can be one of those guys like me who says statistically the game is the best selling Mortal Kombat ever. It broke records. It is, right? But Mortal Kombat 1 is now in the same position where no one likes it, and now the game isn't breaking records. And this is going to put the game in a crazy position. And we actually know what that position is. We're going to jump back to a discussion that was happening probably about a year and a half ago. Mortal Kombat, Tekken, all of these fighting games are trying to make as much money as possible, and that's for a reason. They're trying to prove to the companies that's above them that they can make money, that they can keep going, and a lot of these games are just tripping and stumbling over themselves to do that, right? Those investors has a insatiable hunger, and trying to satisfy that, it's going to put your game in a crazy position, right? So Mortal Kombat has fallen to greed, to predatory, overpriced DLC, a bunch of skins, bad gameplay. Tekken 8, you could kind of say those same things for Tekken 8, but Tekken 8, in my opinion, has more time. Now, when you go back a couple of months ago to August 7, 2024, you can see exactly what we're up against. Warner Bros. Is looking to sell off games division. Warner Bros. Discovery reportedly looking to sell gaming division to avoid a nuclear corporate breakup. Now, what all of these different news articles are referring to is the parent company who owns Warner Bros. This company did a merger between Warner Bros. And Discovery, and now they're a huge company, and they're kind of like a monopoly in a lot of ways. They're a entertainment monopoly. They just control the media so much, and in order to not get broken up by the governments for being a monopoly, they're trying to sell off things that's not important. Oh, this gaming division that's not really putting out any good games, it's not really being successful. Let's get rid of that. It will make our company look smaller, but also we will keep like making the same kind of money, right? Because you don't want to sell off your money makers. You want to sell off the things that's not really making money. So you're smaller, but you still make the same amount of money. So with the video game division that Warner Bros. Have, you could talk about Mortal Kombat 1, and you can also talk about multiverses, right? Those are two examples of Warner Bros. Games that is basically dead in the water now. I don't know what else those guys are cooking up, but it's not looking too good for them. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League also a part of their studio? So it just seems like these guys cannot catch a break, and all of their gaming studios are struggling to turn a profit, to make a profit, to be successful, but one after another, they just continuously fall. And Mortal Kombat being the latest to fall, you would have to imagine this is going to make Warner Bros. More willing to sell it to like an EA, to like a Xbox, to a Microsoft, to a Ubisoft. There was a lot of people who was interested in buying Warner Bros. Discovery. And at the time, because you have this tweet here, this is the thread from 2022, where these conversations originally started. There was a lot of games who were interested in taking it. EA, Take-Two, Microsoft, Sony, Tencent, NetEase, PUBG. And at the time, I was like, no, don't let those guys take it. They're going to put the game full of monetizations. They're going to be super greedy, super predatory. But you fast forward 2 years later, and we're basically already there with Warner Bros. They're trying so hard to meet the expectations of Warner Bros. And they're already doing what an EA would do. They're doing what a Tencent would do. This is the current state of Mortal Kombat 1. They're selling horribly. The only thing that's really keeping them afloat is their DLC characters, and their DLC characters for the Kombat Pack 2 was laughed at on the spot. Year 1 with Homelander and Omni-Man was incredible, but there's no way they could follow that up, and they can't follow that up. And with their story being so bad and so overpriced, it slowed down the sales of that game dramatically. And now they're once again going to be facing the threat of being sold off. And making that leap from Mortal Kombat 11 to Mortal Kombat 1, they had a lot of like momentum. They could say like, look at how successful our game was. Look at how much money we made. Now they don't have that. That bargaining chip is gone, and who knows what happens next. To see, titans of the gaming industry fall like this, some games just can't survive in this modern landscape, right? It just wasn't for them. Fighting games is definitely, as we see day by day, are not tailored for live service, right? Continually updating fighting games just don't work. You have a lot of things that go wrong, and the players will be very outspoken about that wrong.